Hello, citizens, and welcome back. This is our match reaction from Man City 3, Red Bull Leipzig 2 in the Champions League. So make sure to hit the like button, hit subscribe as well. Let's jump into it. So Pep went with a strong team, not surprising really, because if we win the game, we top the group, and in theory, an easier game in the next round. Look, that first half. Look, I'm tempted to say just write the first half off. We'll just ignore it. Just forget it ever happened. Go into the second half. But we have to talk about the first half because defensively, I've never seen anything like it from this team. Look, in defense, we had Walker, Akanji, Diaz, and Guardiola. We had Rodri in midfield. Then it was Lewis and Foden in the middle. Brilliant. Love that. Been calling for that for weeks. Right hand side, Bernardo. Left hand side, Grealish. And Haaland up front. And defensively, you're thinking, it doesn't really get much better than that for us, to be honest with you. It doesn't. But despite all our possession, despite us pushing up to the halfway line, which is what we knew we were going to do, Leipzig defended quite well. They did okay. But how many times have we seen, especially this season, where one ball over the top, we get done for pace, and they just take their chances because they only had 2 shots on target, and they scored both times in the first half an hour. And it was exactly the same goal, just a long ball over the top. Defender didn't handle it. The first one was Akanji. Awful defending. Gets the wrong side of him. Then he tries to use his strength. Gets it all wrong. Ball bounces through. Runs onto it. Ortega, no chance. Second goal. Diaz, again, gets done. Through. Because the second goal, it was out wide. Ball goes down the left-hand side. First off, we didn't press well enough. Bernardo's left there pressing all alone. Akanji's too late to go with him and press his man. So he gets the ball out left. Diaz, who's caught between two minds because I think Diaz is thinking to himself, well, I'm on a yellow card. If I bring him down here, it's a red. So he kind of only half-assed tries to tackle him, foul him, whatever he's trying to do. I don't even know. Leans against him. Doesn't do enough. Through. Then he does Guardiola over cutting inside and smashes it opposite side of Ortega, and it's 2-0. And that was half-time. And really, it's, City had no one else to blame but themselves. It was poor defending. We never really got going. Rodgers' passing was awful. Grealish and Bernardo were barely in the game, particularly Bernardo. He never saw any of the ball going forward, even in the second half. All his work was off the ball, which is what you expect from him, but not when you're on the right wing. We got to get the ball out to him more, but we just kept going to the left all the time. And like I said, Rodri had a poor game. I would have dragged him off at halftime as well. Diaz rightly got dragged off at halftime because he was shocking. Akanji could have gone at halftime as well. Look, there wasn't too much to say about the first half, apart from I'm glad it was over. And we never really looked like we were getting back into it because we just couldn't create anything. We weren't getting the ball to Haaland. Our passing was off, like I said. But in the second half, he made a few tweaks. He did bring Diaz off for Ake, which actually did make a big change because Ake, we've seen in the last couple of weeks, you saw in that Liverpool game, he's nice and comfortable on the ball at the moment. And even in this one, there's a couple of occasions where he skips around the play and then feeds it left to Doku, who also came on. Because Doku came on for Grealish. And when Alvarez came on as well in the second half. And them changes actually really did a few things. So Doku obviously stretched the play a little bit because we were then able, when we got the ball out left, they had something else to think about. We had a lot of pace to think about, and that was leaving more space. Because what happened when Doku got the ball was they were doubling up on him. In that left Foden on the inside with a little more space. And Foden was absolutely lethal when he got a little bit of time on the ball. The first goal comes from him. Just after the substitutions are made, ball feeds through to Foden, who turns immediately, feeds the ball through to Haaland. Beautiful finish from him. 2-1. Second goal was more like it from City as well. Again, it comes from the fact that we've suddenly stopped spraying the ball left and right, going for the long ball all the time out wide. With short, sharp passing. That's what it was all about, this one. Short, sharp passing. And, when we got back into 2-2, it was a lovely take by Foden. Lovely move from him. Takes it onto his left and just a beautiful goal past the goalkeeper. And technically, Foden, honestly, that goal was beautiful. And the third goal, I don't know how many passes it was. I don't know, like 1,000 passes or something. I think it was only Haaland who didn't touch the ball from us. And again, short, sharp passing. We speed up a little bit in midfield. Goes out to Rodri. Nice a bit of 1-2. I think he gave it to Alvarez. Gives it back to Rodri. He gives it to Doku. He gives it to Foden. And then he spins and smashes it into the box for Alvarez to finish off a lovely move. 3-2 from there on. And like I said, it's just all about injecting a little bit of pace into the passing. That's all we needed to do. And it was what was missing in the first half, just a bit of energy. But we got that in a second. We get the win. Did we deserve the win? Probably not, to be honest. I mean, did we deserve it? We were shocking that first half. But, I mean, you got to ask questions about Red Bull Leipzig. They just sat back, defended, let us come on to them, and they got punished for it. At the end of the day, I think they lost it more than we won it. But it does it. Do you know, it doesn't fill me with confidence going forward either, to be honest with you. We got Tottenham at the weekend, then we got Villa after that. And if you look at Tottenham, how are Tottenham going to play? Tottenham are going to play exactly how Leipzig played today. Sit back, hit us on the break, long balls. Liverpool, weekend. What do they do? Sat back, defended, long ball. Chelsea, I mean, that was just a madness game, that one, the Chelsea game. Wolves did exactly the same thing. Defended, hit us on the break, pace. This is what I'm sick of watching, and I keep saying it over and over again. And Pep, listen, I know you're watching Pep. You always watch. For the love of God, stop sitting our centre-backs past the halfway line so we just get done for pace every single time, because every single team takes every chance they get against us. It's unbelievable how every team can finish their chances every time they get one. It's crazy. We give them 1-2 chances a game, and every time it's a goal. For the love of God, just sit back a little bit. Be willing to just, let them have some of the ball. Let them have some of the possession, because not many teams will break us down. That being said, this Tottenham game, I can see it being an absolute nightmare, and I am going to make Son my vice captain because he's going to score. Especially if we defend like that. And going forward, who do you put in defence? Because look at tonight. Oh, my word. I was praising Akanji left, right, centre on the weekend, saying he should have been man of the match against Liverpool, and he has a nightmare like that. But then you got Diaz alongside him, who has a worse game. Rodri probably had his worst half in a City shirt. So look, we got to change things up. And I think he's going to go back to Alvarez in the middle as well for Tottenham, but I wouldn't. I'd stick with Lewis and Foden because I thought they were actually really good, and I don't think the problem was them. I really don't. We'll have to see, though. That's it. That's the match reaction. It's a little bit of a rant because the first half was shocking. The second half was better, but not really by much. Like I said, I think they threw away more than us, won it. Still, 3-2 means we top the group. We go through as group winners, and in theory, we get an easier tie in the next round. I think by the minimum, we get the second leg at home, and I'd rather that no matter who we play against. So yeah, all in all, good night, and we don't have to worry about the last game, I suppose. Thanks very much for watching. Hit like, hit subscribe, and see you again. Bye-bye.